2017 was a very interesting year for me. I laughed, I cried, and worst of all, I didn't upload. But I want 2018 to be different. So I'm going to start this year off by shedding some light on the good that did come out in 2017. These shows are not ranked in any particular order, they're just a bunch of shows that I've seen last year that I really enjoyed, and I think you should honestly check them out for yourself. Of all the things to come out of 2017, the return of Samurai Jack was definitely the most surprising. Ever since it was announced back in 2015 that the show would be getting a new season to conclude its run, I was a bit skeptical and didn't really see much going into it. Surprisingly, the show kind of continues as if it never ended. Samurai Jack for me was a show that I never really watched for storytelling as a kid. It was a show I would watch for the action and not so much for the characters or world building, so it was quite surprised to me that this new season had the ability to leave such a lasting impression on me. Unlike the other shows on this list, Samurai Jack has a bit of history behind it. I mean, the show came out back in 2004 and there's 4 seasons prior to this one that kind of have a bit of a connection, so for those of you who are thinking to yourselves, why should I watch Samurai Jack? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. The writers actually planned this show for new fans and old ones, so anybody can actually jump in and watch these 10 episodes as its own collective story. They tried to distance it as much as possible from the original show. This way, as many people can hop on board and watch this and enjoy Samurai Jack for what it is. So please go watch it. Now, let's just hope we can get a second season of, I don't know, Symbiotic Titan or something like that. It's crazy, I don't know. I mean, Adult Swim, they made this happen, so, I mean, it's in the air. You know, Symbiotic Titan, still Cartoon Network property. I'm just saying, it would be pretty cool if we got a Symbiotic Titan Season 2, right? Yeah. I'm just saying, for the record, it would be a good idea to do it. Adult Swim, pick it up, make it happen. Come on. Anyways, back to the list.
My hero, show me what I gotta do.
One of the most standout anime to come from 2016 was My Hero Academia, a show about superheroes in training where we follow a kid in high school who wants to be a hero but doesn't have any superhero abilities himself. Thus, he finds himself in a situation where he has to work extra hard to become the world's greatest hero. At face value, it kind of sounds pretty generic, and it sounds like something that's been done to death, which it has, but it hasn't been done this well in a long time. You see, shonen anime tend to do the same things over and over and over again. They have formulas and tropes that each one's take after the next to prolong the longevity of their run. Now, if you don't know what a shonen anime is, it's basically anime targeted at younger audiences, and they're pretty much full of action, high octane, and a lot of them are considered to be battle anime. My Hero Academia has a level of quality and polish that has yet to be seen from many shonen shows. With examples like Naruto, One Piece, or Bleach, those shows were made to run for a very long time, so the animation on those shows are very low budget, and you can tell that there were cuts that had to be made for the show to continue as long as they did. I haven't seen a shonen show given this level and bar of quality since Hunter x Hunter 2011. The show was done by Madhouse, and you can tell with every single episode they put their heart and soul into it. The animation is top tier quality from beginning to end. Studio Bones has set the new standard for what a shonen anime can be. Since this is a second season of a show, I won't really spoil anything here, I'll just say go watch it. I know you've heard about the show probably by now anyway, so why haven't you watched it? Seriously, season 3 is right around the corner, and I suggest you get caught up right now, because this show is at an all-time high in terms of peak and hype and stuff like that. So if you want to join the hype, get on the train, then I suggest you go and check out the show right now. Alright, let's get to the happy vibes right here. So you know I had to throw this on here at some point. So what can I say about Dragon Maid? Other than it's the most feel-good show you could ever watch. The characters are what drive the show, and each and every single one of them are likable, and they just make you want to smile. The slice of life aspect takes a back seat, as the characters could literally be doing anything and it'll be entertaining simply because it's just them doing it. The show knows how to make something as simple as going to the park feel otherworldly without ever becoming too jarring or confusing. Although when it comes to storytelling in Dragon Maid, it's more of a clip show kind of thing. It's a bunch of funny side gags that happen while other things are happening. There really isn't no coherent story going on from episode to episode, but there are little hints and nods thrown in here and there that kind of allude to things that will be explained further in future episodes. Honestly, at first glance, this show didn't seem like something that would be right up my alley, so I wouldn't really say it'd be right up your alley as well, but I would say that you should check it out and just give it a shot. It definitely surprised me from its first 2 episodes, and from then I was hooked. So I'll only recommend this show to those who like to have a good time with some wacky characters and their daily hijinks. If you like slice of life and comedy stuff like that, and nothing that requires you to be super invested all the time, then I suggest giving the show a watch. It's a really good time, and I think anybody can enjoy it. Coco is a movie that I went into with little to no expectations. Coming out of it, I was pleasantly surprised by how good it was. You can argue that the story is a little bare bones, but man, the execution is just flawless. I haven't seen a Pixar movie this good since Toy Story 3. Out of all the movies they made this far, this one has got to be the most relatable. It's nice to see a kids movie that not only teaches kids about other people's cultures and traditions, but it also tells a great story. I love seeing movies that don't treat kids like they aren't smart enough to get anything. When I was growing up, I saw countless movies that would try to belittle you and treat you like you're watching an episode of Dora the Explorer. I can respect a studio that goes the extra mile to make animation a medium that can be taken seriously. So even though Pixar would probably land a spot on this list any year, I gotta put it on here for that alone.
Oh!
ああこのまま僕たちの声が世界の端っこまで消えることなく
So let's talk about Your Name. This movie can be very conflicting when it comes to explaining whether or not someone should watch it. In my honest opinion, I've seen better anime movies, but that doesn't knock the accomplishment that this movie has. Yes, it is the highest grossing anime movie of all time, but does that make it the best anime movie of all time? I'd say it's far from it. I can't say I disagree with a lot of the popular opinion of the film because I really do love the movie, but I do think people have brought the movie up to be better than it actually is. People hold it to such a high standard that I can't really recommend it to people without saying lower your expectations. Your Name is a beautiful movie with a great story, but it's not the greatest thing ever made. Temper your expectations and you will have a great time like I did. Oh, and one more thing. Did I mention the soundtrack is amazing?
立ってる場所に何かがあるっていつも言い張っていた
As you all heard at the beginning of the video, there was a show that came out last year that actually brought me to tears. Maid in Abyss is one of the hidden gems of 2017, an anime that really snuck up on me. It is a show I only recommend to those who enjoy storytelling at its finest. Even to this day, I often think back to it and constantly find myself wanting to see those characters again and see them overcoming even more challenges. This show has the privilege of being one of the few shows that have actually brought me to tears. I'm typically not the type to show much emotion in situations. I never really get sad to the point of crying or happy to the point of smiling everywhere I go, but man, this show managed to pull something out of me. Maid in Abyss is my favorite show to come out of 2017, and I am truly grateful that I took the chance and watched the show blind with no expectations. I like to think that it was a combination of all these different things that made it so impactful for me. With that being said, I'll leave you with this. If you do plan to watch anything in this video, I recommend that this be at the top of that list. If I can get any one of you to give this show a shot like I did, I'll be happy.
Mom? Dad? Where are you?
Okay, so this one is a bit of a more personal pick for me, as most people won't have an attachment to Hey Arnold like I did. Hey Arnold for me was a show that I could watch as a kid and learn many things about life and generally what makes someone a good person. Now, there are many shows out there that do a good job with showing kids life lessons and helping them know what's a good decision versus a bad decision, but Hey Arnold was relatable for me in a way that most of those other shows weren't. When I first heard that Hey Arnold was finally getting a movie explaining the disappearance of Arnold's parents, I was quite skeptical and didn't really have faith in Nick's potential to capture the look and feel of the old show. Thanks to this movie, I now have a ton of faith in the Rocko's Modern Life and Invader Zim movie that Nick plans to make as well. Typically, I'm against remakes / reboots of classics from the past, but if Nick continues to deliver like they did with the Jungle movie, I can't help but get excited. So the bottom line is, if you have seen the show, I definitely recommend the movie. If you haven't seen the show, I can't really recommend it too much. I mean, it's a good movie as a Nickelodeon original movie, but it's a great movie as a Hey Arnold movie, whereas anybody that has seen the show, they will get a lot more enjoyment out of it, whereas people that haven't, they'll enjoy the movie. It's still a good movie on its own right, but it's nothing to really get crazy about. There are definitely better things out there, so it's only really on this list because I got a lot of enjoyment from it. Well, that pretty much concludes this video. I mean, all these shows and movies and stuff like that were really big surprises that came out of 2017. The only really one that came out that I was actually hyped for and kind of expected it to be good was My Hero Academia. So a lot of these are technically hidden gems for me. I'm planning on doing a Q&A for my next video, so please leave questions down below, as many as possible. The Q&A video will not be made if there's not enough questions to make a Q&A video. So if you guys want that video, I suggest leaving questions. You can leave more than one question, I don't mind. Just leave as many questions as you can down below, and I'll answer as many as I can in the next video. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know I've ranted on long enough, but I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the Q&A.